Good evening once again. Welcome to Politically Incorrect. Let me introduce you to our panel. Right over here we have Jean Sasson. Did I say that correct?
You said it right.
Okay. You are, of course, the best-selling author of The Princess Trilogy and your latest, Esther's Child. Umberto, welcome back. Umberto Fontova, he's been with us before.
My pleasure, Bill.
That's Umberto. He's a live wire. Journalist,
pleasure,
lecturer.
you know.
It says the man behind the Helldivers Rodeo. I don't know what that is, but I don't doubt that you're behind it. Now, let me hope I get this name right. Assad AbuKhalil?
Correct.
Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad I did. All right. You are a professor of political science at California State University, and your book...
That's not my book.
That's not your book. That's his book. I don't have your book, but it's called Bin Laden and the Taliban. What a coincidence. This guy is all over the news.
Hey. Hey.
Okay, and...
Me and my book, huh? Yeah, go ahead.
And Richard Kind, of course, is on Spin City and a good friend of ours. Tuesdays at 8:30, right here on ABC. Give a hand to this panel and let us start talking about what's going on. Last week, the State Department hired Charlotte Beers, an advertising executive, to market American values to the people in the world who are now somewhat our adversaries. I think that's a good idea because we've heard a lot about how Islam is about peace. I don't know about those folks knowing that America is not about hate. And I would like to get that message across to them so that they know that we are not an evil and arrogant people. We're a fat and lazy people.
Bill, they know that because they all have cousins that live in Michigan.
They don't.
And they're all trying to get here anyway.
But that's not what they are
They
marketing.
pray nightly for a visa to get here.
But they are not marketing values. They are marketing a war. And it's very clear that the government
Who is
thinks...
marketing a war?
The United States government is marketing a war. And this is not an information campaign. It's a propaganda campaign. And they hired a PR consultant from Wall Street to do the job. And it's very clear from what they're doing. They think that the Arabs and the Muslims are idiots. That if we threw bombs at them and some rice and beans sprinkled on their heads, they will think that America is not against us. That if the President of the United States will go to a mosque, they think we're not against Islam. As long as the war against Afghanistan is targeting, it's not deliberate, of course, but innocent people are being killed. And the Taliban leadership, the real terrorists, the Taliban leadership, and Osama bin Laden and cohorts are still alive. So who are the ones who are being killed?
Who do you think has brainwashed the Muslim people more? Al Jazeera or the United States?
United States government by far. I watch Al Jazeera, and I think their journalism, which nobody here in the audience watches, but yet they are making judgments.
Oh, I've watched
Unlike
it.
you, but you don't.
I have watched
You've learned Arabic recently? I didn't know that.
No.
I know Arabic and English, and I watch both, and Al Jazeera is much more professional than American press. At least they show both sides. Now, you can tell, of course, their correspondent in Afghanistan is sympathetic to the Taliban. That I will grant. But many of the people on the show, they have talk shows, and unlike in the United States where they have people competing on sounding which one is more pro-Bush than the other, whether Democrats or Republican, on Al Jazeera there is a multiplicity
obviously you haven't
of
watched this show.
Well,
I do have a question for you.
Ask.
Isn't this woman trying to target all of the Middle East and give, and say that we are not a war-mongering people?
As you are dropping bombs.
But that's not
Well,
what
now, hold on.
Wait a minute,
I think there was a
wanna say
reason that we dropped bombs and we
please.
chose to do that.
Well,
Has it occurred to anybody that we're the aggrieved party here? We were the ones attacked. Why are we worried about their hearts and minds? They should be worried about ours.
But we do.
We are the aggrieved party. We are on the moral high ground. We've got the world on our side.
And we're dropping bombs. We got smart bombs.
Hold on.
Whoa. One at a
We're
time.
dropping bombs because we're at war with a certain group of people in that country.
The people who were behind the attacks, which are widely condemned and should be condemned by everybody because they're an act against humanity, are the terrorists of bin Laden and cohorts. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
I haven't heard any of the Taliban leaders have been killed. I heard the son of one of the leaders, 10-year-old boy, was killed. I did not hear that any of the Qaeda leaders were killed except one that everybody recognized. So who are the ones who are being killed? Innocent civilian. Yesterday, one house was destroyed by
They are
one
trying
of those
really
so-called
hard not to
food
do
drops.
that.
But you see, what I want to press on the audience, and it's very easy to get a cheap audience line and applause now, is the following. The president says you're either with us or against us. The surprise is not. Most Arabs and Muslims are against both. And you can be, and it seems to me it's a morally superior position, you can be against bin Laden and the terrorists and also against the war. And if you really want to eradicate terrorism, you should stand in opposition to this war, which will only compound the problems and in the future may produce,
So
unfortunately,
we should just
more
take
violence.
it.
No.
We should just let it slide,
let's
huh?
go back to the
Just
PR
take
right
it.
now.
Well,
Please.
let the lady talk because
Please.
she's been trying.
With the PR war that you were talking about, we certainly will not win it. I've been 23 years in the Middle East, and I can tell you what will win it, and that is after justice is served, which I'm for that like everybody. After justice is served, we have to go in there and let them see the real face of America, not tell them about us.